It's Larry Siegel from TV Worth Watching. Welcome back to FlockTV. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. First, you may have seen around the world of YouTube that nearly all videos now start with ads. YouTube, owned by Google, changed its video monetization policy. That means whether content creators, like me, are enrolled in the video monetization program or not, I'm not, ads will still appear. So, thanks in advance for waiting the extra 5 seconds before clicking skip ads to get to our program. We'll do our best to make it worth your while. Second, here's a shout out to our founder David Bianculli, who's featured in CNN's new series, The Story of Late Night. The first episode actually used our favorite TV critic to set up a cliffhanger before a commercial. Nice. Speaking of late night, one of the more interesting stories covered in episode 3 was the rise and fall of a late night show hosted by trailblazing comedian Joan Rivers. Joan was smart, driven, and she cracked quite a few ceilings along the way. In a lot of ways, Joan serves as a template for a new fictional character in a recently launched series on HBO Max called Hacks. Like Joan Rivers, Deborah Vance worked her way up in the clubs, fought the sexism around her, had her shot as one of the first female late-night hosts, and then slowly fell into the role of an elder comic stateswoman building an empire by engaging with audiences of a certain age through her nightly Las Vegas show and selling Deborah Vance-approved tchotchkes on QVC. From the perspective of a younger generation, she became a hack. She's played with incredible depth, verve, acerbity, vulnerability, and a hint of potential redemption by the seemingly omnipresent Jean Smart. You may know her from the late 80s, early 90s designing women. More recently, she was on Fargo, Watchmen, and Mayor of Easttown. She's a wonder nailing both the comedy and the drama, often in the same scene, and has created an instantly memorable character. Balancing her is a 20-something comedy writer, Ava, played by Hannah Einbinder. As the antithesis of time-tested, carefully crafted jokes, Ava is more of the observant kind of comic who went too far in one of her tweeted observations and essentially got canceled by Hollywood. Her only shot left is to write for Deborah Vance, with whom she shares a manager, and Deborah is not receptive to the idea. And frankly, jaded Ava isn't too keen on it either. So what makes this work? In Deborah, Ava starts to see the talent, fire, and sincerity that's necessary to make it in the funny business. In Ava, Deborah starts to see the relevance a fresh perspective can bring, and perhaps a chance to become relevant once more herself. The writing is sharp, the supporting cast is terrific, especially Always Sunny in Philadelphia's Caitlin Olsen as her adult and afterthought daughter, DJ. And any show set in Las Vegas with its mashup of grime and glitz is always fun to watch. But for numbers 1 and 2 on the call sheet, Deborah and Ava, they share a passion and a need to work, to grind it out, to find the joke. They just can't help but do what they need to do to hack it. See you next time on Flock TV.